Hi, I'm Robbie Davidson, and welcome to the show. As we're in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, everyone's well aware of how much our day-to-day lives have changed because of this. Over the next 5 minutes, as a hearing healthcare professional, I want to share with you some of the things that we've seen over the last couple of months, some of the difficulties that people have been experiencing with hearing loss and hearing aids and the pandemic that you may have already seen or maybe altogether new for you. COVID-19 has created major changes to how we communicate and connect with friends and family. Gone are the days of morning coffees, family get-togethers, and the big holiday celebration. In place of those is phone calls, Skype, Zoom, FaceTime, and Google Hangouts, and all sorts of virtual meeting systems. Now, you may not know this, but talking on the telephone is one of the hardest ways that we can communicate with friends and families. There's no visual cues, you're only hearing with one ear, and the sound quality is somewhat restricted. A few years ago, a study came out showing that using FaceTime with Bluetooth direct connected hearing aids had a 77% improvement in speech understanding versus traditional cell phone use. And that's for people with mild to moderate hearing loss. Now, there's a couple of reasons for that. The first one is the visual cues. Now, a lot of people don't think that they're able to lip read, and on its own, you probably aren't. But we all gain some information from visual cues on people's faces. So they were able to show that a third of that difference was based on the visual cues. The second thing is the improved sound quality. Having the sound being connected directly through the hearing aids and in both ears, you're getting much better sound quality, much better signal versus background noise, and that showed a huge improvement in how people are able to understand. So what does that mean when connecting with friends and family? Well, the first thing is, if you have the choice, try and use FaceTime or Zoom or one of those other systems where you can actually see the person. That'll make a big difference. The second thing is, even if you are using those, if you have hearing aids with direct connection and you're sending the signal to both ears, that's really going to make the biggest difference and help you to have an enjoyable conversation rather than struggling through it. Although mask wearing has been commonplace for us now in our day-to-day lives outside of the home, for most people it's just a minor inconvenience. For the hard of hearing, it poses many challenges. The first being, as we already mentioned, visual cues are so important for the hard of hearing, and we lose a lot of those with mask wearing. The second is having something right in front of your mouth actually muffles the speech and it reduces the volume of it, making it a lot more challenging for you to hear and understand the conversation. Over the last few months, we've noticed a lot of people have been coming in who, with mild to moderate hearing loss, who have been able to get by in their day-to-day situations prior to mask wearing, but now with masks in their lives, they're just finding they're having a lot more trouble, and they're finding that the hearing aids are making a significant difference for them and making it much easier for them to get by in their daily activities. Now, to help compensate with this more difficulty hearing with masks, hearing aid manufacturers have been working hard to make it easier for you. Several of the manufacturers have come out with specific mask programming where they've altered the frequency response of the hearing aids to create a more clear sound quality through the masks. Another item that hearing aid manufacturers are using to make it much easier to hear with masks is remote microphones. How that works is you would ask a conversation partner to clip on a little microphone onto their shirt. That would pick up their voice and send it directly to your hearing aid. So even though they have the mask, you're getting a much clearer signal going through to your ears. For those with severe to profound hearing loss, voice-to-text apps can be the biggest benefit for having a conversation with somebody with a mask. All they have to do is speak. Your app will pick up their voice, transmit it to text on the screen. You can read the screen and carry on. It makes a world of difference for a lot of people. Another thing that we've been seeing with masks is we've seen a huge increase in the number of lost hearing aids as a result of wearing masks. So many people have been taking off their mask and accidentally dropping their hearing aids. And we've had reports of them being able to find them later on in their car under the seat, going back to parking lots and finding them there. And a lot of people just haven't been able to find them. A great solution that we have to help with masks is ear savers. And basically, instead of clipping the mask wires over your ears, you're actually attaching it to a little device at the base of your ears. And that leaves your ears free for your hearing aids. So you can take your mask on and off, you can put the hearing aids on and off without disrupting each other. A lot of people are reporting that it's more comfortable. Now, these are devices that we sell. You can get online, or you can even use household items such as a paper clip to attach the mask behind your head. So there's a lot of easy solutions for that, and it can really make a big difference. While we're on the topic of lost hearing aids, many of the new hearing aids have a Find My Hearing Aid app on their phone using GPS tracking systems. Now, there's a couple of key points that you need to know about this. The first is when you're installing the app, it will often pop up and ask you if you want to allow it to know your location. For this one, I would recommend using at all times, because that way it'll give you the best chance of having your phone be able to tell you where your hearing aid was last connected and be able to find it. The other thing that's important is with a lot of phones, you have the option of closing down your apps so that you're able to save battery power, reduce data consumption, and improve the speed of your phone. The problem is once you close down that app, you've lost connection to the hearing aid, so it's no longer going to be able to track it. So it is really important that you have your app running at least in the background at all times if you want this feature to be able to work for you. I hope you've been enjoying the virtual show and have found these tips to be useful for you. If you have any questions about hearing aids, Bluetooth connection, or whether your current hearing aids will connect to your phone, tablet, or computer, feel free to connect with us and fill out the form.